Okay, good morning everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. We're really glad you can join us for today's How to Enroll session. So this session this morning is going to be presented by Paula Appleby, our Director of Planning and Performance. Also assisting us this morning is Craig and Lynn from our Administration Services team, who will be available on the session to answer any of your questions. And we will be holding a Q&A session at the end of the session. So please feel free to add any of your questions to the Q&A box on the right of your screen. I'm now going to pass you over to Paula Appleby. Paula is our Director of Planning and Performance and will be leading today's session. Good morning, Paula. Are you ready to begin?
I am, thank you, Shay. Hello everyone and welcome to this session of enrolling at the Manchester College. As you know, we are the #1 college in Greater Manchester for achievement. I'm going to be taking you through how to enrol at the Manchester College for September 2020. So as you know, most of you will have an application portal and will have applied to the college throughout this year. And now we're into the enrolment phase. You will start to receive further communication in emails to let you know that your application is now ready to move to the enrolment process. You'll be asked to follow instructions in the application portal, which is in the next step section here, as you can see, as I'm hovering over it. And this is called Get Ready. And this is our piece where we're going to be explaining about how to get ready for college. Once you log back into the portal, we'd like you to click here, and this will take you through to the next part of the enrolment form. Once you've logged into the system, you will see the personal details page in the application portal. Entering your personal details, part 1, you will need to ensure that you've entered all of the correct information. So this part, you will be checking the information within the portal that all this is relevant and is fully correct, as this will now be part of your enrolment process and will also be the name that appears on your certificate. So it's really important to get these details correct. It'll then move you through to a further personal details page, which is your emergency contact details. This is usually your parents or carer who you have a relationship with, and those details need to be added here too. It also asks for your country and your correspondence address. And again, this is really important for us to be able to contact you and your parents as and when required. Also remember to put your postcode in here. Once you've completed this section, you'll click continue and move through to the next section. Entering further details. This section will take place of residency. So if you've been an EU resident for the last 3 years or not, you'll need to answer these questions as honestly as you know, and possibly add other information as and when you go through the process. We'll then ask you to complete the equal opportunities section, nationality, your ethnicity, if it's not already there, and plus also ask for any criminal convictions. Please don't worry if you do have a criminal conviction. We will contact you and talk about it, but it really isn't anything to worry about. This is there for us to be able to assist you. And obviously there's further information about household situation. And again, once you've completed this section, you'll move through for further details, such as help and support. So if you have dyslexia, for instance, we would want you to disclose that here. Failure to disclose that you have any supported needs can lead to a delay in the start of your programme. We need to make sure that we have everything ready for you. So if you do have supported needs or require help with anything, please make sure you complete it in this section. It's really important that you tell us, because we can then make sure that we tailor your education needs and ensure that this is ready for the start of your programme. It then asks if you are in care or have been in care, whether you're a carer, do you have an educational health and care plan? And if you do, you'll know what one of those are. And do you consider you have any difficulties? This section is really important, so please take time to have a look at this and fill it in. Also, we're asking whether you do have access to IT at home. Again, this is a really important question as we have been virtually teaching during this COVID pandemic. Once you've completed this, we're then moving through to qualifications. Here, you will have already presented what your predicted grades were expected, and obviously this has been a very different year for GCSEs, particularly for Year 11 students. So we know that your predicted grades will still come out in the same way on GCSE results day. And what we would like you to do, once these results are available to you, to go back into this section and actually put in your actual grades from 1 to 9. Once you've completed that section, you'll then continue. You'll then continue to the uploading evidence section. And again here, we will be asking you to upload your statements of entry, which is the information you'll receive from the school on the morning of GCSE results day. Or you may even get it electronically this year, depending upon the situation. Once you've received this information, you'll need to take photographs of this and upload it into the system and ensure that your name is clearly visible so that we can verify that that statement of entry relates to you, your date of birth and your unique learner number from school. Again, it could be a certificate that you receive or a statement of entry, but any results that you receive, please, as I say, take a photograph and upload them here. And once you've completed that task, you then press continue. We then move through to data protection. Data protection is really important, and this is how we will use your data. Every organisation now needs to have a data protection policy, and ours can be found on our website. Once you click through to data protection, you'll see the consent section. Please read this really carefully and agree to the following statements. It will also ask you to agree to how you want to be contacted by the college whilst you're with us, whether that's via email, post, SMS or telephone. You may want to do all 4, or you may just want to do 1, and that's fine. Any way that you want to be obviously receive communication from us, that's where you'll tell us. And then agree to the other sections here. Please read it carefully, and if you do have any further questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at the college and somebody will be more than happy to go through it with you. Once you've completed that, we move then through to the review section. This is your opportunity to then double check that everything that you've entered throughout this process is fully correct, and that you've got an opportunity here still to edit and change should you need to. Once you're happy and everything is correct, you can click submit. Once you've submitted your enrolment form, you're now ready to book your appointment. And as again, you'll see under the next steps of actions here, you'll click here, book. And what will happen then is a selection of dates between the 20th of August and the 28th of August from 9:30 till 7 o'clock will appear here for you to book a time that's most suitable for yourself. So please peruse those dates and find one that best suits you. Once you've clicked and chosen your date, you'll book it and you'll receive an email confirmation. Please keep this safe and in your diary so you know exactly when your appointment is going to take place. If you do lose it, you can log back into the portal and obviously the date and time will be there for you. And in the meantime, if you do have any other questions, you can always call the course inquiries line. So once you've completed that and everything's ready to go, we're then waiting for the actual enrolment day. You'll have received all your results, you'll have uploaded all your information, and you'll have also been asked to upload your photo, which is a passport style photograph for your ID card at college. Again, follow the instructions really carefully because that has to be a passport style photograph. Once your appointment day arrives, on the day, the tutor will call you at the chosen time or within a time frame, and then we'll complete your enrolment. We'll review the information that you've given to us. We'll ensure that your predicted grades match the qualification that you wanted to come on to, and we'll start your journey to being amazing. This also will give you an opportunity to talk to the tutor about any aspects of the course that you'd like to know more about. Once that appointment's completed, you'll move back into your application portal, you'll log back in, and again in the next step section, you'll see finalising your enrolment, learning agreement and digital signature. Once everything is finalised, you will see your programme of study here, which will outline the qualification you are going to study with us at the Manchester College. Once you have reviewed that and you've reviewed the learning agreement and ticked each area, read it carefully and agreed to the learning agreement, you can then click sign, which is here at the bottom of the page. Once that's completed and signed, you will then get confirmation of your next steps and timetables. Thank you for listening. And we'll move into questions and answers if that's okay, Shay.
Thank you for that, Paula. That's great. Yeah, we will move into questions now. So we've had a number of questions pop up on the Q&A box, so I'll start with the first one really. So what date will the enrolment day be on, and will it be done in college or online?
Okay, thanks, Shay. So we're anticipating that most of our enrolment will be done online this year. However, if somebody does have no equipment at home, they can call the call centre and agree a time that's suitable for them and the college for them to come in and have a face-to-face enrolment. The 16 to 18 school leaver enrolment dates begin on the 20th of August and run through to the 28th of August. So there are 7 days within that time frame where we will be available online for you to book an appointment and come and talk to us to finalise your enrolment.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Paula. The next question then is all about the enrolment form. So we've had a few to ask, how do students, learners get the enrolment form? Okay,
so as I said, as part of the process, they'll receive an email, text message, possibly from both. So they get a reminder from 2 parts of the system. One that says detailed information about what their next steps are. Once they log into the portal, they'll see the Get Ready for College icon, Next Steps. If they click that, their enrolment form will be there to check, as I've just described throughout the presentation.
Okay, that's great, Paula. And can we just clarify where learners get the login for the portal?
So when they've made an application, they received a username and a one-time code. They should still have that in their email, but if they haven't, don't worry about that. You can either reset password through the email system when you go onto the portal, or you can call Course Inquiries. You'll be more than happy to get that information to you.
Okay, great. The next question then is about payment. So will learners need to pay in order to enrol?
A 16 to 18 school leaver will not need to pay anything. Their course is free up until the age of 18.
Okay, next question then. What happens if a learner does not get the grades that they're predicted?
Okay, just go back to that payment question. If a learner has a kit which is related to their course, they may have kit fees to pay. Or say they're going to do hair and beauty, they'll have to have a uniform and a kit. So there may be associated fees with their course, but they won't pay for the course. So just to clarify that point, Shay, if that's okay. So moving on to the next question, which is, if you don't get the grades that you're expected to get, and it's been quite a difficult year, because obviously the year 11 students have ended earlier this year than anticipated, and it's being predicted from the current situation from the COVID pandemic. If you find that you didn't get the grades that you wanted, please don't worry about this. There's something here that we can actually get you onto. It may well be a slightly lower level course, but there'll be something which has got progression routes either way. So if you were expected to come onto a level 3 programme for hair or for animal care, then we would just move that course down to level 2 to ensure that we get you the skills that you need to move you back up to that level 3 position the year later. So it really isn't a problem. Obviously, we will talk that through with you on the call. We'll explain why we're doing it, if you need to resit any of your English or maths qualifications, and we'll ensure that you get a full brief of exactly what you'll need to do.
Okay, great, Paula. There's just a question around a paper application. So we have a learner that has applied by paper, so they don't have a username or password to log into the portal. So did they have to create an account, or how will that work in terms of them getting an online access to the portal?
Okay, so if they applied by paper, they should have received an email from us asking them to log into the portal. If they haven't, then could you ask them to contact the course inquiries line after this presentation today, and we will ensure that they get a one-time code and have access to the portal within the next 7 days.
Okay, great. Thanks, Paula. The next question then is around GCSEs. So will it affect a learner's place if they didn't sit out their GCSEs? So if they didn't complete their GCSEs, I'm guessing that means how will that affect their enrolment and place at the college?
This won't affect them at all, because every year 11 in the country is in the same position. So as I said earlier, we are geared up for the fact that we are having to probably make changes to those learners potentially. So it doesn't matter that you didn't sit your GCSEs, you'll still be getting a grade within the GCSE bandings, and we will ensure that we find the right career path for you. As I said, we've got a great careers and welfare team, and they will be happy to sit down, talk things through with you, think about where you want to be in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, and 5 years' time. They'll talk you through what does that mean for you. If you don't quite get the grades that you wanted, you know, we can find you something that can get you there. And I think that's the most important thing to let learners know. Please don't worry, come and talk to us, book that appointment, and we will find you the right course for you.
Great, thank you, Paula. Just on the subject of appointments during the enrolment period between the 20th and 20th of August, what happens if a learner misses their appointment that they've booked during that period?
Yeah, that will happen. That's not a problem. All we'd ask people to do is just give us a quick call and we'll rebook that appointment for you. We've got extra appointments already in the system so that we can actually have that in the background waiting for people. You know, things happen, so you might just need to go off and do something. So please don't worry. If you miss your appointment, it's really not a problem, but just call us and we'll reschedule it for you.
Great, thanks, Paula. Next question then is talking about what happens if I have changed my mind on the course that I've selected. So the course that they've applied to and they want to maybe change to another course, what happens then?
So if they know that before their enrolment appointment, they can obviously apply for something different within the portal, and we can obviously provide their service up front and change what they want, or they can just give us a call and we can change it for them. Obviously, again, it'll be in line with predicted grades and subject to what they get. Obviously, we'll have that conversation at the point of enrolment. So it really isn't an issue. And if somebody wants to change their mind and they want a careers and guidance appointment, as I've said, because they want to reevaluate where they are and what they want to do, again, it's really not a problem. They can either contact careers and welfare or they can contact the course inquiries line. He'll get them through and book them an appointment.
Okay, that's great. The next question then is around the portal again. So if people can't access the portal online, can enrolment be done in the college?
It can be done in the college, as I've said, but with social distancing and obviously the measures that the government have put in place, the college is trying to direct people through the online system this year. But again, if somebody hasn't got equipment or needs to come into college for other reasons, if they call the call centre when they receive their communication, we can book them a face-to-face appointment.
Okay, great. Next question then is about after the 20th of August. Can enrolment still be done after the 20th of August?
Yes, absolutely. We'll still have appointments all the way through to the end of September. Obviously, people change, people move locations. Often we get people who've moved into Manchester during that September period and obviously come to college slightly later than anticipated. So we will have appointments available all the way through September. It'll be slightly different timings, but there will be still opportunities to enrol. So please keep your eye on the website and through the portal. Make sure you've applied, and you'll always receive information through that portal system.
Okay, great. The next question then is around timing. So when will learners know their timetable, and is there a date that the college will be starting in September?
Great. So yes, absolutely. So once you've completed your enrolment and you've signed up at the end of the, as I showed you on the presentation, you'll sign your learning agreement and you'll know which study programme you're on. Once that's been done and activated and you're an active student within our system, you'll then receive a link to our student platform, and you'll have a student email account. You'll have access to Office 365. So you'll be able to access all of our systems and processes through a link, and that will be sent to you. Once you've got that information, your timetable and other information will be available within your student portal and student email address.
Great, thanks, Paula. So quite a lot of more questions coming in. So is the enrolment appointment in person, and when do I get my time? Oh, you've just answered the timetable and student ID question.
Yeah,
so
that's fine. I mean, if somebody has Office 365 or every learner who has an accepted offer with us and has access to our platform will already have access to Office 365. So we can do a video face-to-face conference call as part of enrolment, or it will be over the telephone. So yes, the face-to-face appointments within the college buildings will need to be done through the course inquiries team, because we have a more limited spaces within the campuses during that time.
Okay, great. We have a question here from someone not currently living in the UK. So they've recently moved here from the EU, but they don't have any GCSE grades. So they're just asking about what happens in terms of their application if they don't have GCSEs and they're not from the UK.
That's absolutely fine. So if they've studied in an EU country and they have EU qualifications, they can input them into the portal, and we will convert those into what is called a NARIC, and it gives us an equivalent grade within the 1 to 9 structure for GCSEs. So I would still encourage people to put any qualifications in that they have achieved within their own country or the country that they've been living in, and then we will convert them and give them the right course, obviously on their prior attainment.
Okay, great. So we've got another learner here who's done his application and they have, it is in the process, they live abroad, but would like to know how they go about their accommodation for an age group 16 to 18. Okay,
that again, we'd need to transfer to careers and welfare to make sure, obviously because they're under 18, we need to make sure there's a guardian for them. So there's a process that they'd need to go to, and it also depends on the country that they're coming from. So we'd need to obviously do a bit more of a bespoke interview with that person who's asking the questions. So if you could respond and ask them to contact us, that would be great. And then somebody will actually get them through the system and give them a greater understanding of what they need to do and the next steps.
Great, thank you, Paula. We've had a few questions around uploading pictures of results onto the system. So just to clarify, the learner will take a picture of their results on their phone and upload that onto the portal as evidence. Is that correct?
Correct.
Brilliant.
Make sure the name is visible. The name being visible is important.
So the name being visible. And then we had another question around how do they get their learner number? Will this be on the GCSE results, or is this something that the college generates? So
once they have signed up their learning agreement, they'll automatically have their unique learner number with the college, which is called a person code. Once they obviously obtain their student ID, that will be on the card. But if somebody needed it prior to coming to the college, I'm sure we can make that visible within the applications portal. So if Lynn and Craig could just make a note of that, is something that we can obviously make sure is visible once they're an active student.
Okay, so just a few more questions remaining then. So looking at the ID college card that learners get, will learners get instructions on how to use that and how the picture should be? Yes. On their card?
Yes, they will.
Okay, great. Then we have another question around they've submitted all the information to the school portal. What is the next thing? What's the next step?
So once they've submitted all of their application, as I said, they will get a new email from us to say that there is further action within their portal. As I said, it's the next steps into getting ready for college. So once they log back into the portal and they go to the next steps section of their portal, they will see the Get Ready icon. It's always good when you log into the portal to go to the next steps section and see if there are any outstanding actions for you to do. So I would say during this time now to keep doing that on a weekly basis to make sure there's no other outstanding actions. So keep a close eye on your portal now.
Great, thank you, Paula. Just a few more questions and then we'll probably start to wrap up. So the next one is just about functional skills. So when I enroll, do I tell you I need to do functional skills? Does that happen at enrolment?
So for instance, if you get a GCSE English and Maths at grade 4 and above, you will not need to resit your English and Maths. If you get a grade 3, you'll need to resit your GCSE. And if you get a grade 1 and 2, you'll be put on a functional skill level that best suits your current attainment level. So we will tell you, but we will also discuss that with you and make sure that you're clear about what you need to do. So that will be all discussed at your enrolment appointment. And please ask any questions at that stage. It really is the time to ask. And also, you will understand the full study programme that you're going to come and do with us about employability skills and all the other aspects that are within the programme of study. You get a really wide variety of enrichment as well. So, really that's the time to sort of ask, but we will be guiding you through the English and Maths resits or functional skills requirements for that course.
Great, thanks, Paula. Just on the student ID cards, do they get posted or do learners collect these on enrolment?
When they come into college for the first session, they'll collect this from the reception on the way in or from one of the local libraries on site. They'll be all ready and produced just for collection.
Okay, great. We have a question here about bus tickets. Is the bus tickets paid by the college?
So for a 16 and 17-year-old, they will apply to our pass if they're a Greater Manchester resident. But if they're 18 and don't live in Greater Manchester, they'll apply to the college bursary system. And if they're eligible for a bus pass, then obviously if the system is still the same policy next year, obviously that's being reviewed currently due to COVID-19 and obviously the fact that people aren't travelling as much. But the college will still be offering some bursary pots of money and potential travel. So I would say you will get information about the bursary, particularly during the enrolment process and afterwards. So yes, please ask any further questions that you may have. And you can also get an application form, which we'll intend to send to people as well prior to the enrolment dates.
Okay, thanks, Paula. We've just had another question about the portal itself. They've created a portal account, but it does not have their application on it. So what happens then if they can't find their application on their portal once they log in? What do they do? If
they call course inquiries, they may have created another account and we can merge them back together. So please don't worry about that if you've applied and then I've got two portals. We'll deduplicate that record and make that one again. So again, give course inquiries a ring and they'll resolve that for you reasonably quickly.
Okay, and probably linked to the application. So if someone's applied and they don't recall getting a portal login, what do they do? Do they contact course inquiries to follow up on their application?
Yeah, I'll go back to their email account that they used to set up the portal and just look for anything from the college, and hopefully their one-time passcode will be there. If they can't find it there, then just give us a call and we'll find it for them.
Okay, great. And then we have another question here. If a student has SLI and finds it hard to communicate on the phone, is there another way to enrol?
Absolutely. And they're the exact, obviously people, like I said, who have supported needs or don't have equipment at home to upload photographs and other things that we've talked about today. Again, they just need to, if needs be, get somebody to give us a ring, and then we will make an appointment for them to come in and have a face-to-face appointment. Anybody who is concerned about an online appointment, please don't worry, call us, and then we will ensure that you get a face-to-face appointment and we will get you enrolled in the way that best suits you.
Thanks, Paula. A few more questions have come in. So there's a question around the Manchester College. Do they only do one subject, whereas in other colleges you do 3? So in terms of a 16 to 18-year-old, how many subjects would they do?
Is that for an A-level question, do you know?
I'm not sure, to be honest, yet. Didn't sort of specify.
Yeah, so normally you do one programme of study. That question would normally relate to A-level, so you do 3 different A-levels. And unfortunately, the Manchester College no longer offers A-levels as a programme of study. So we do BTEC Sciences. So we need to obviously investigate that further. So if they want to give us a ring at the call centre, we can discuss that with them.
Okay, great. And we have a question about someone that has been homeschooled and doesn't have GCSEs. What are their options if they don't have the GCSE grades? Okay,
so anyone who has no formal qualifications at all, which we have many people who come to us in that position, as we have lots of different people who come from other countries, potential asylum seekers or refugees, that's not a problem. We assess them through what we call initial assessment, and that then gives us an attainment level for the learner's aptitude, where they are in their learning. I'm not sure, Craig, whether you want to come in on this one, or Lynn, that we would normally do an assessment based on English and maths. I'm not sure if we do it on science. I know it's on English and maths, and that gives us a level of attainment. Craig, Lynn, I don't know if you want to add anything on that one.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that one. I'd have to have a look into it. But normally, if you've got no qualifications whatsoever, then you would, like Paula says, you would go through some form of initial assessment to find your attainment level, and then we would look at what course would actually best fit for you. But
right, yeah. And I think if it really isn't an issue when they come to us, we'll assess that level through a series of different, like I say, initial assessments, and then further, obviously, once we've got an attainment level, we'll dig into deeper understanding of where they are. So it really isn't a problem if you have no formal qualifications. Not an issue. We'll talk to you about it, we'll do that assessment, and then we'll get you on the best course that suits you.
Okay, great, Paula. Just a few more questions then. We had someone talking about COVID-19 precautions. So there is a full session around safety on campus happening today at 5 p.m. Yes. So that will go through everything that the college and all of our campuses are putting in place, and all the measures around safety, social distancing, and what that college environment is going to look like following government guidelines. So just in response to that question, if they can book onto the 5 p.m. session today, that will answer all of their questions.
But we are following strict government guidance, as you say, Shay. And I know that obviously that session will take you through all of that. What's expected when you come onto campus, and your personal safety is obviously our main concern as everybody's. So I'm sure if you can book on that session, it would be really helpful.
Great. So just a few more. As an immigrant, what requirements should I submit to apply for IT career level 2?
So there's different papers that could be to do with immigration. You may be you may have come from a country and be on a student visa. So we would need to look at that, because obviously student visas, you have to be at a tier 4 college, and they would need to really have a careers and welfare conversation first to ensure that they have all of the relevant documentation in place and that the college is able to take them. So anyone coming in from not within the EU would need to have a careers and welfare conversation, is the best advice I can give, because it would need to be thoroughly checked on whether we're able to take them.
Okay, great, Paula. And then I've got 2 more questions, and then we'll wrap up. So a learner wasn't able to fill their national number on the school portal. So is there any advice you can give around that? I'm guessing that's maybe national insurance number.
Okay, so if they've lost their national insurance number, they can go online and request a new copy. It normally takes about 7 to 10 days to come. So I'd request that, and then once they get it, log back into the system and you can add it in at any time.
Fantastic. And then this is probably going to be the final question, because we're just coming up to the hour then. Again, clarifying, when can the enrolment form be filled out? So again, is that prompted by email, and do they do that in a set period, or can they do that now after this session?
So we intend to get that out to people. What date have we planned, Craig? Was it the 3rd of August?
Yeah, that's right. So the communications will be going out.
So from the 3rd of August, they will see an email from us asking them to log back in and start to complete their enrolment form, ready for their appointment, which will be between the 20th and 28th of August.
Okay, great. Thanks for that, Paula. So I think we're going to wrap up the Q&A now. I know some people have submitted questions to the Q&A box that maybe haven't been published or haven't been answered fully. So what we're going to do is take that offline and follow that up individually.
Yes.
To let everyone on the session know, we are recording this session and we are going to upload the video to YouTube. And you will receive an email within the next 48 hours with a link to sort of look at not only this, but also other Couch to College sessions. So this session will be available online, so you can view this at a later date in your own time. And hopefully that will get all your enrolment questions answered. And we do have a few further how to enroll sessions happening as well, both this week and week commencing 20th of July. So yeah, if you do want to book onto those, do feel free. You can book onto these again. And yeah, is there any other comments from you, Paula, before we bring the session to a close? No,
all I would say is that, you know, we're here to help. And our job here in admin services is to ensure that their journey in the college is as smooth as possible. And if there's anything that we've not answered and they'd like to talk to us about, please call us, or, you know, we're available every day, Monday to Friday. You know, there's not a silly question, and we're here to get you on the right career path. So, you know, please, again, book on another session or give us a call, and we're really looking forward to seeing you in the future.
Okay, great. Okay, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's taken the time to attend today. We hope you had your how to enroll questions and information answered. And yeah, we look forward to enrolling you in the near future then. So I'm just going to end the session now, and thanks to Paula and everyone for attending.
Thanks very much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you and good morning. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.